We are fat with loss. How many calories are in a layer of grief? Can it really be that fattening? Do we need to go on a grief diet? If I haven't met you yet, I'm Mary Ellen Collins, the Executive Director and the founder of the Motherless Daughter Ministry. I'm so pleased that you've chosen to spend your precious time with me. I'm bringing you this Monday morning ministry moment for and for you. Each week, you're going to receive a short message that is connecting all of us together. Poems, scripture, knowledge from our 20 plus years of experience working with motherless daughters all over the world. Quotes you can connect with, thoughts that could challenge you and ask you to look within. And today, I want you to think about the layers of grief that you are wearing. If you're aware of other motherless daughters, I want you to do three things. I want you to share this message with them. And if this message is speaking to you, hit that like button so that we'll know that. And tag somebody in the comments if they should watch this video too. If you can relate to this video, we want to hear what you have to say. Share your thoughts. We'll respond to your comments. This ministry was created for you, to empower you, to educate you, to support you, to walk with you, and to help you and other motherless daughters on their healing journey. We are fat with loss. As I waddle through my day, grief has really become my go-to food of choice. I layer grief upon grief. It's like creating one of those Jenga puzzles at teeters on collapsing. How many calories are in a layer of grief? Can it really be that fattening? Well, it sits on my hips like a newborn ready to be rocked. You know how when you pick up a baby, you automatically start rocking? Grief makes me fluffy. Fluffier. I struggle with unexplained weight gain. And once I found a picture of a lamb. It was well before shearing season. And it was a really comical message. It said, ooh, E-W-E, ooh's not fat, ooh's just fluffy. Well, I became Aunt Fluffy when I would send my niece my gently used business suits. On the card, I would enclose, I got fat, you got lucky, love, Aunt Fluffy. That's been a joke in our family to this day. But when we gain weight, we normally go on a diet. What would a grief diet look like? Layer upon layer, I look at my grief. One layer is the loss of what normally takes place every day. If I can name it, I can manage it. Sunshine, smiles, hugs. I miss these things. I don't want a virtual air hug. I want a real, honest to God bear hug. I don't want a virtual hug at all. I want to hold somebody. There's other layers too, deeper ones. I don't want to go there. I don't want to explore them. Why not? Am I afraid? Am I afraid that I'll be ingested? And if I ingested my grief, and if I enter into that abyss, that dark hole, I mean, after all, it took me 35 years to unpack the grief of losing my mother when I was 15. I work hard to keep myself positive. I give gratitude each day. I challenge my negative thoughts as they attempt to transform into another layer of obesity. It is such hard work. If mental effort were metabolized into calorie burning changes, I would be swell in my reflection. Old losses cling to us. We wear them like a second skin. Well, at least I do. I thought I had laid them down, and now they're back. How many times do I need to relive that loss? Here it comes again. Why am I afraid to think about this? Is it because I may not be able to manage it? My new mantra, if I can name it, I can manage it. Anticipatory grief, could that be the reason? That feeling what the future holds when we're uncertain. And it's kind of an imaginary future. Something bad is coming, but I can't see it. I don't feel safe. So I worry about what is to come. That overwhelms me. The what ifs and the maybes cause my gut to turn. I realize I'm grieving on a micro level, which is all about me, and on a macro level, all about everything that's going on in the world today. Tums has become my go-to drug of choice. Stop it. I am spinning into the neverland of grief. I need to focus on the now. I need to take control. I need to let go of what I can't control. I need to name my present losses. If I can name it, I can manage it. I need to let it work through me so I can feel it. One of the losses I have, I miss vacations. I miss having that feeling of sand between my toes. Ooh, what I'd give for a good sand wedgie right now. Human contact. I mean, I miss people. I declared that picking up the mail in our house is my job. So I go slow and I hang out like a stalker, hoping that somebody will show up so I could ambush them with conversation. You know, what makes me cry, and I hope I can say this without crying, is how much I miss my grandson. It took him forever to come into my life. 2 years, I was a foster granny, and now when I could spoil him, this pandemic, I treasure the short Zooms, phone calls, and dreams of a visit. My list is quite lengthy. I work on continuing to name those losses. As the executive director of the Motherless Daughters Ministry for 21 years, I have held others' losses and stories. Broken stories, layered with grief and loss. My burden is quite weighty. Another layer, I am sure that there's a total Calvary intake, total days Calvary intake, and yet I listen, I'm safe. My grief diet, focusing, naming my losses, understanding which ones I can control and which ones I have no control over. Those are the special ingredients of my grief diet. And then I remember my mother's words in times like this. She said it was very powerful because she said, "This too shall pass." So my question to you is, how many layers of grief are you wearing? Can you name them? If you name them, you can manage them. They can become real and you can manage them. Join me on a grief diet. And until next week, have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you next Monday. Goodbye.